This is a Little Empire podcast. Visit us at littleempirepodcast.com and on Instagram at Little Empire Podcasts.
You gonna play that dastardly intro again?
Ow! This movie's still fine.
Zacole, pasta.
One of them dies, that goes screw. One of them's a hottie, his name is Jay. One of them looks like Johnny Depp, and his name is Johnny Depp.
Classic Maximum Joseph.
You forget that films are supposed to have a point.
The boys are back in town.
Hello. Welcome along to the worst idea of all time, episode 29, with your friends Tim Batt.
That's me.
And Guy Montgomery.
That's him.
That's me. We're back together for the first time in 2017. We've watched We Are Your Friends for the 29th time. We are physically connected.
Yes.
Through a makeshift pair of handcuffs fashioned from a bike lock. And it's really good to be here with you, Tim. And it's really good to have occasional skin-on-skin contact.
Yeah. It's kind of, you just sort of did it very early on in fact, was it before the movie kicked off?
No, it was during the movie.
During the movie, you got a little bored, a little restless. You fashioned this contraption that connects us both, and look, it's just on there now.
It's a metaphor.
Because we're connected, you and I.
Yeah.
And the bike lock is a metaphor for the movie, or I guess the podcast?
Yeah,
Both.
Certainly both. It's an all-encompassing bike lock.
Yeah. So look, it's great to be back. It's great to have you back in the room, Guy. It's good to hang out with you in person again, you know?
Well, it's good to be back in the room. It's humid.
Yes.
It's exactly as I remember it.
Yeah. Hot and Tim's here.
Yes.
Those are
the main two things. For how danky and stanky and sort of, dense the air does get in here during these heady watches, these heady late 20 sort of middle of the road watches. I'm always impressed by how it doesn't retain the smell.
Yeah. If you whack these doors open, it'll
really
just
air
leave.
itself out.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Can't do that at night time though, because the mosquitoes get in. Folks, we've just watched a movie for the 29th time in the last 7 months.
What do you think about mosquitoes?
Not great. Not a fan. I actually hate them.
Do you?
Yeah, they
do
really
they like you?
piss me off. They'll definitely have a munch. Do they like you?
They used to like me more. Now, not so much.
I wonder if that is to do with your diet.
It's
because you eat a lot of Mortine.
Yeah. Well, in tablet form.
For the Americans, Black Flag, I think.
Yeah.
The fly spray. Guy eats a lot of fly spray.
I spray it through a loaf of bread and sort of wait until it sort of manifests in an actual physical crystal. And I take 10 of those every morning. And since then, I got to say, the mosquitoes, they've been laying off.
They just peel away, don't they?
Yeah, as has my skin. It's been peeling away pretty quickly. You'll see here, I'm rubbed red. I'm rubbed dry. But what I was going to say is, I think they've also laid off me because I've learned to respect them.
Oh, really? Do you think you've got some sort of compact with them?
I just think it's a hard life. I don't know what's their purpose.
Did I'm not sure if I brought this up with you. No, I don't think so, because I don't think I've seen you since it happened. But when I bloody got a mosquito that was on me the other night, at the night time.
Yeah.
And it's pretty gross, bro. Actually, it bit me on the hand, and I could kind of feel something, so I just kind of swiped it. And then I kind of could feel like the blood, like it felt something wet on my hand. So I went to, this is the middle of the night, this is about 2 a.m. So I went to the bathroom, turned the light on. It's pretty gross. I'd ripped the head of the thing off, so like the rest of the mosquito was gone, and it was the like, it's whatever it is, it's teeth, it's what is the thing that goes in and sucks your blood? Whatever that thing is was hanging out of my skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got to think about all the other mosquitoes will reckon this guy is an absolute hero. That is probably one of the gnarliest deaths a mosquito could have.
He's in mosquito Valhalla now.
Yeah.
It is. He's a
decapitated.
It's crazy, man.
That's it though.
It was pretty gross. I got grossed out.
The life of a mosquito. Every meal, you're putting your life on the line.
That's true. That's true. Usually we kind of associate bravery with there's a point why you're risking your life, though. Otherwise, you're essentially Johnny Knoxville,
But they need it.
Well, I guess that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. The bravery is that they need it to keep going, huh? Do you reckon there's any smart mosquitoes that have found a way to be able to sustain themselves without having to risk their life all the time?
No, but I tell you what, the first mosquito to figure that out
Yeah.
and put together a good marketing scheme.
Oh, fuck. We're so screwed if that happens. Because they breed so quick. They lay all those millions of eggs.
If they're eating something else, let them breed.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But they're insects, man. I'm terrified of them because there's so many of them that if they figure something out, the change will happen really quickly. It'll amplify. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if fruit flies are like, hey, guess what? It turns out there's way more nourishment in human flesh than there is in fruit. And we're going to try eating humans for a while. And then the first batch of them thrive. And so their numbers increase and they're all bloodthirsty. We're fucked.
I read a very entertaining piece of writing by a guy called John Jeremiah Sullivan recently, in which he was talking about cases in which animals have pulled their intelligence to realize that human beings are ultimately the cause of all destruction and sort of, upsetting their lifestyle and lives. And so there are people who prophesize that they will figure out a way to work together and
take us out.
Yeah, smash the patriarchy.
God, we will have earned it too.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot begrudge them that. I will fight for my own life. We are the mosquito, aren't we? We will fight to sustain ourselves, and no one can begrudge us that, but it's still massive respect to whoever wins that fight.
We're not the mosquito, though, because we prodded the mosquito to prod back.
We talked a little bit about the Illuminati during the watch of this film.
Yeah, and between us, we know very little about their origins.
Yeah, not even 100% sure if we know that they are or were a real thing.
Yeah. It all stemmed from, we were waxing lyrical over a lot of the movie, I got to be honest with you guys.
A lot of freestyle rapping.
A lot of
Two
freestyle
sweaty
rapping.
white boys doing some freestyle rapping in the room.
Just a lot of crazy twists and turns, a lot of alternative takes. And one of the more enjoyable ones was that Zac Efron, or his character more accurately, Zacole, was having some sort of mental breakdown during the performance of his single as he realized what a disastrous piece of music it was.
Yeah.
And then trying to shift the blame for that onto Kanye West.
Yeah,
and so
that's
saying
where
that,
it came from. That's right. Because I was saying to you that there's a bunch of people online who believe
yes,
that Kanye is now under the mind control of the CIA because he started talking about the Illuminati, so they dropped the hammer on him.
I think that there's someone on the internet everywhere for every thought.
I know. That would be a fun comic book, though, actually.
What?
Like Kanye, the CIA trying to mind
Kanye,
control
the CIA
Kanye.
operative.
No,
or is
the
it more of
opposite.
a cat and mouse game?
It's
They're trying
cat and
to...
mouse, yeah. It's Kanye trying to keep a low enough profile so that he can blow the lid off the Illuminati goings on, and the CIA trying to stop him, but without raising too much attention that they're onto him. Because he's such a high... That's the problem with celebrities who crack onto shit. They're so high profile, you can't just fucking off them, you know?
Yeah, you got to do it under mysterious circumstances.
This is the second time today we've been talking about kind of state-sanctioned killings or things in that ballpark.
I think
Not
it's
good.
the movie.
Yep.
How did you find it this week, Tim?
It's got a spell on me.
Yeah.
And not a good one. A shitty spell. Like the ones in Harry Potter that turn you into a bowl of jelly or something. I don't know. I haven't watched all the movies. Assume that's what happens. Or read the books. The movie is a real inconvenience and a nuisance now. And it truly is. It's good to see it. It's good to hang out with you. I just wish it was under different circumstances. And I don't want to see it anymore. And we've got another 23 of these watches to go. And I don't know how I'm going to get it through. Because everyone in the movie fucking sucks.
Who sucked the least this week?
Oh, okay, the least. I thought you were going to say the most. The least... the award for person who sucked the least in this, the 29th watch of We Are Your Friends, goes to... Fuck, I hated all of them.
Surely not all of them.
I hated James Reed.
From the Feelers.
Yes. I hated Zacole. Somali maybe edged it out this week.
Yeah.
But I still hated her. I hated her less.
She sucked the least is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
You're trying to pay her a compliment.
Well, yeah, very backhanded compliment, but I guess it is
And
a
the
compliment
context
of
of the film.
It's just
It's
like...
the highest praise you can
guys,
give an actor.
Here we go. Start the clocks. because we haven't done this for a little while. I'm going to explain everything that happens in the movie in 60 seconds.
Okay, I'll time you.
Okay.
So starting from 3, 2, 1, go.
We open on Zac Efron and a bunch of his friends who are in their early 20s trying to make their way in the world in California. They're in the Valley in LA, and they are party promoters. They're club promoters. Zac Efron is a struggling DJ. He goes to the club. They're trying to make their money. He does his DJing in his side room. He meets Somali. He befriends James Reed, who is the headliner
From the Feelers.
They hang out. He eventually bangs Somali. They move into an
30
apartment.
seconds remaining.
Squirrel dies. He's been tempted with this carrot of playing at Summerfest, which is a big concert thing for DJs. James Reed finds out that he's fucked Somali, which is his girlfriend. They have a breakdown, and then they get back together in time for the end for Zacole to launch this
10 seconds
terrible
remaining.
song out into the world. Oh, and they work for a property company in between at one point.
Pretty good.
That's all the stuff, really.
Yeah, there was a key, and that's time. Very well done.
Thank you.
There was a key, just a little detail that gets switched around, which I especially noticed this week actually, which is that the relationship between Zacole and James Reed from the Feelers
Yep.
breaks down before Squirrel dies. Because I remember watching
That's
it this
true.
week, and you watch it and you're like, when you see that he finds out Zacole and Somali ran to Paris, then ran back to Las Vegas and had sex in a hotel room, mentally you're like, oh, your muscles relax a little bit because you think, oh, great, I'm on the slide home. And then as soon as that scene finishes, you see Zacole getting into a car with all the boys, including Squirrel, and you're like, fuck, that's right. They haven't even killed Squirrel yet.
Yeah.
How can you finish the movie if you haven't killed your squirrel?
Yeah.
And so you just got to
can't.
sit through this whole other superfluous scene, which is meant to provide like emotional depth, and then they patch the relationship back up together. The most enjoyable lens through which I saw the film this week was the idea that Zacole stole all of James Reed from the Feelers PCP and was just hooked
Yes.
the
He's
whole
an
time.
addict. The man is an addict. Do you reckon there is a page? Maybe not.
Ah, that's
Fight
imagined.
Club.
Well, the main sort of, plot offshoot of Zacole's PCP addiction that we noticed this week was he immediately, in his nerves, forgets that Somali's name is Somali and starts calling her Vanessa.
Yeah.
And then, as a show of affection, when he's trying to communicate his feelings towards her, he tattoos the name Vanessa on his erect penis, otherwise known as box office gold.
Yeah.
And he's trying to show it to Somali.
To impress her. The
Yeah.
irony being her name isn't Vanessa. So then it's just confusing because he's called his dick Vanessa and tattooed it on his on
And
his
he's got
body.
to like navigate this very real social faux pas through the very confusing perspective of someone who is tripping out on PCP the whole time. And I just think, as opposed to the version of the movie that you just said in a minute,
Yeah.
there's a little bit more in that for us.
You want to see that film?
I did see that film. And it certainly made watching the other film, which I was watching concurrently, much more palatable.
What would you call this Vanessa version of it? Like if the original version is We Are Your Friends, what can this one be called? It's just called Vanessa, A Journey into the South.
It's called
Vanessa, Fast Times at PCP High.
We Aren't Your Friends, and then in parenthesis or after a colon, The Pitfalls of PCP.
Oh, so it's like almost a high school educational movie.
It's the
warding you off
it's
drugs.
the reefer madness of our generation.
Yeah, yeah.
It's anti-drug propaganda.
I just can't wait for Baywatch, you know? That's what I'm really hanging out for. This thing's got me so thirsty for Baywatch. God damn it, I want to see it.
Why has it got you thirsty? Because Baywatch is a different movie? Or because if you look at this as sort of, a piece of connective tissue to Baywatch, you look forward to the further
You
unraveling?
want to know what it is, guy? I'm a positive guy. I'm an optimist. And I think what I'm seeing is all of the small little good things that shine through about Zac Efron are present in this film. He's got a great sense of humor. He's got a wonderful smile. He's got a pretty hot bod. And I'm looking forward...
Great set of eyes, too.
Wonderful eyes.
Baby blues.
I'm looking forward to seeing all of that used to great effect in Baywatch, because I feel like they were squandered. Even though we got little flashes of those great assets of Zac Efron's, they were squandered. And so in Baywatch, my hope is that under the artistic direction of whomever the people in charge of that film was, I don't know who the director
Rock.
is. He directed it as well?
He wrote, directed, and produced it.
Isn't he doing well, that Dwayne Johnson?
He's under the mentorship of Michael and Patrick King.
Well, then, it's going to be great. And long.
Yeah.
And not very good. That's definitely going to be the flavour of that film.
This movie, in spite of its...
when you say this, are you talking about Baywatch or We Are Your Friends?
I'm talking about We Are Your Friends. In spite of its ability to frustrate you, you see in it potential for Zac...
Yeah, but that's on me, not on the movie.
You're buying Zac Efron
That's because I'm a
stock.
good person. Not because the movie's good. It's because I'm seeing that and otherwise...
You're investing in Efron.
Yeah, backing that vehicle. Big time.
Even notice how similar Efron sounds to Enron?
Ooh.
Comes into the game, singing and dancing and acting, a triple threat. Value skyrockets.
You're right. Everyone gets behind him. The kid can do no wrong. Everyone wants to be involved in this career. And then We Are Your Friends is like the crash, isn't it? It's like they find out it's all based on bullshit.
Baywatch could be, like the last semblance of hope.
I guess it is.
You know, in The Simpsons, when they go on that stock market.
The Enron ride.
Yeah. We might break even.
And then you go through the poorhouse at the end. It's funny.
And then you hear someone off screen go, that's good satire.
Good gracious. So look, I don't know what you want from us anymore, basically. I think I'm done. I think we're done with the podcast now.
Look, the number of times...
I think that might be it.
You are the boy who cried podcast.
No shit, man.
Just accept it for what it is. Well, it's a different thing every week.
I don't want to talk about the movie anymore, so let's talk about anything else.
Okay, I would love to talk about anything else.
Okay.
So, what you will have noticed, Tim, is recently I've been drinking milk from your fridge, straight from the carton. Mm-hmm. And the reason I've started doing that is because in a movie I watched recently called We Are Your Friends, a character called Jarhead drinks juice straight from a carton.
You fuck.
And I sort of thought that was quite a cool devil-may-care attitude towards hygiene around the kitchen. And I guess I want your take on what you think of mine and Jarhead's decision to drink fluid straight from the carton.
Well, I know we've talked extensively about milk. What is that? That next door.
That's the neighbours.
Okay.
Telling us to stop banging on the damn furnace. Shona Paul, Megazalan.
He's back.
What do you think about it?
I think that to each their own. Basically, if you want to go out there and be a goddamn adult psychopath and keep drinking milk, and
I'm less concerned by the fluid contained therein.
I know you are, because your perspective is warped because you're a milk drinker.
No, I don't drink milk. I drink your milk, but I don't drink milk in general. Like outside of the context of this house, it's a milk-free
so it's
zone.
more of a statement. This isn't really. You don't even enjoy it.
Not even a statement. There's just something about your kitchen.
Okay. Well, look, I think in the case of you, stop coming to my house unannounced and consuming my stuff. And in the case of Jarhead, I think it is poor characterization. Sort of, I guess, I want to call it lazy, but then I go, could I do any better if I was to sit down and toil over a film script? Probably not. For that specific thing, I mean, that specific character trait.
Do you
It's like,
think...
hey, we got a guy who's a real badass. How do we display that? I'll tell you what, if we're opening at his house, you know what you want to do? Get him to get the fucking OJ out of the fridge. Do not have him get a glass.
And also,
Straight from the container.
make it clear that the OJ is over half full. So it's not like he's polishing it off and it's all okay.
It's going back in the fridge.
It's going back in the fridge.
With his backwash.
Do you think if you could only see your parents in soft focus or out of focus entirely...
If I could only see them in soft focus in my house.
That's right. Do you think then it would change the dynamic of your relationship? Would you maybe have less respect for them? if you exclusively saw them in soft focus?
God only knows.
That's true. Shall we ask him?
Yeah, sure.
God? God, are you out there? It's Guy.
Yeah, sorry, I was taking a shit.
That's okay. I don't need all the details. Hey, God.
Yes.
If my friend and colleague, esteemed colleague, Tim Batt...
Esteemed colleague.
Good one.
Why, you sound kind of like him. Do you sometimes take the form of the person who's being discussed?
I get that a lot. I'm a real sponge for accents.
Oh, that makes sense, I guess, because you made them all up.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
He did. He made them all up.
oh, hey Tim.
If you think
I'm
about
kind
it.
of talking to God right now. It's pretty
sorry.
rude to interrupt.
Okay, my
The
bad.
likelihood of this happening is so small.
Let the man stay
Thanks, God.
and speak.
Thanks again. If Tim Batt could only see his parents in soft focus, do you think that would change the dynamic of their relationship, or maybe it would mean he would have less respect for their opinions because he can't see them communicating them clearly?
Well, it's a good question. I think it would do the opposite. That which is not in focus cannot be the focus of your anger. Therefore, blurry objects should get more respect, not less.
Wow, I never really thought about it like that.
Dop-de-doo.
Thanks, God. Hey Tim,
Yo.
did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's crazy,
He's got
huh?
a pretty booming voice. It's hard to miss.
Yeah, he really does. So, you've got to respect anything that's out of focus. Well, I feel that lesson has been wasted on Jarhead.
Do you reckon this is why, like, society is on the decline now? Because back in the day, cameras, they were not as sharp as they are now. So things were a lot blurrier. So people kind of, like, paid them more respect. But now everything's a bit too sharp. You know, you got your 4K and your 16 megapixel
You blame
camera on your
technology
phone.
for the decay of society.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I'm not quite sure how you can see it any other way.
It's just, you made that connection so quickly, it's a lot to process, Tim.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. But you got to keep up, We're talking about big ideas here, big concepts. Don't get lost
Well,
in the mire.
in the muck and the mire, we are big boys and these are big concepts because you wouldn't want it any other way. Now, so take me as I am. Tim, this may mean you have to be a stronger man. Getting sentimental with James Reed. I'm James Reed and I live on a mushroom in the forest. I'm so hungry.
James Reed from the Feelers gives Zacole a MacBook Pro box. What's in it? I'll tell you what's in it. It's an Adidas box. What's Adidas? It's the way that we say Adidas. Adidas.
All day.
How do they say it in the States?
Adidas.
Adidas. So inside that box, just like in the movie, is filled with all of Zac Efron's money. Okay?
What? So James Reed, is it a replica or is it?
No, this is the box. So here's the terrifying reality of what's happened in the film. Paige Harrell is working with James Reed from the Feelers. They are in bed together in business, fucking diamonds, stealing houses, flipping property together.
Playing acoustic guitar.
Yeah, that too. So what's happened is when Zac Efron thinks that he's putting his money that he got from Paige in his shoebox under his bed in his house at Jarhead's, what's actually happened is James Reed from the Feelers and Paige Harrell have the deed to that house. So they own everything
to
in
the
it.
Jar family's house.
Correct. Jar bless. So what's happened is every time that Zacole has put his money into that box, he's actually putting money directly back into the coffers of Paige Harrell and Gold Star Realty Solutions.
They have deliberately misled him to think he's saving.
Correct.
When he's actually investing money, not even on his own behalf.
He's just putting it back into whence it came.
That
Paige Harrell giveth and Paige Harrell taketh away.
It makes sense insofar as we know Paige Harrell and James Reed from the Feelers are in cahoots because
Yeah.
they frequent the same strip clubs.
They do, yeah. That's a good point.
This sounds like the sort of harebrained scheme that might occur over a couple of glasses of vino,
Well, you're not wrong, and that is
a couple of whiskeys.
where I like to drink my wine in a strip club.
You personally?
Me personally.
You, Tim Bat.
Yes. So this brings us to the presentation of the box back to Zacole. This is a mind game. Okay?
Yeah.
James Reed from the Feelers is fucking with our boy Zacole. It's a real power play, is what's happening here. He's revealing to him, not only am I working with your boss and I am your boss in your hobby interests and your musical pursuits, but I own your fucking house, bruv, and I've got access to everything that is around you at any given moment. You think that I didn't know that you slept with my girlfriend? I know everything. I am borderline omnipotent to you, and I will not be fucked with.
Okay, I've
Here's
got a
reminder.
question around IP. Who owns the music Zacole creates?
I'm going to assume James Reed from the Feelers because he does the lion's share in that studio.
So that would mean that he is the architect of his own demise if he is helping deliberately create this terrible music?
Think of it like Star Wars, right? What Zacole possesses is a strong amount of the Force. The Force can be light or it can be dark, but he's a powerful being. He's got that potential in him. So what James Reed from the Feelers has to do is recognize that DJ power and then find a way to neutralize it. If he comes in too hot and negative, he's going to push Zacole away, and then Zacole's going to get more powerful and take him over from a distance. You got to keep your friends close and your enemies in the studio where you bang somally, as the Bible tells us. So that's what James Reed from the Feelers is doing. He brings him into the studio, they make music together, he's leading him down a crazy path, wild goose chase, creating this shitty song that he's going to play at Summerfest and
Far
blow
out.
out to abandon his hopes and dreams of being a DJ. He's got to really crush him.
It
It's
really
very psychological.
opens the question of free will up, doesn't it? Because suddenly Zacole's not living in a world wherein he's in control of his destiny.
Yeah.
It's all predetermined. It's determinism.
Yeah, it is. Fart. Well, not necessarily. If
But he
only if you assume that there's no other way that this could have happened. If you think that Zacole's got it in him to somehow, if he was just smart enough to kind of outfox him, then, you know, that's back in the mix.
I guess it's just that, you know, he's sort of pursuing two careers in this film.
Yes.
The music
Yes.
and also sort of offhandedly
Music
the...
makes Zacole think he's good at things.
That's true. So he's pursuing the music, and on the other hand, he's pursuing the realty thing. And he would believe that if he was to quit either of these jobs, he is suddenly back in the fray. Like he's pursuing the other one of his own choice. But both of those are being controlled by the same.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like when
true.
you go to a vending machine and you're like, I don't know what I'll get, a Coca-Cola or a Fanta. And then you buy Fanta because you're like, well, Coke sells heaps of Coke. You know, I want to support this little underdog Fanta. But you're secretly supporting Coke the whole time.
Yeah, it's like, should I vote for the Democrat or the Republican? But little do you know, the Illuminati are controlling both sides, bro.
It's exactly like that, Tim.
We're going to take a short break now to hear a word from our sponsor. This episode of The Worst Idea of All Time is brought to you by Audible.com. What's Audible? Thanks for asking. Good question. Hi, I'm Tim Bat from The Worst Idea of All Time.
And I'm Guy Montgomery, also from the Worst Idea of All Time, but also from the Audible Foundation of Experts on Audible.
Audible is the largest collection online of fantastic on-demand audio content. What do we mean when we say that? We mean things like books read aloud to you, okay? I'm going to phrase this differently to how you've normally heard it. People talk a lot about audiobooks. What does that mean? It means someone's talked into a microphone and recorded themselves, so at your leisure, you can absorb a book through sound.
Reading a book by hand can be physically taxing and exhausting. It might mean you have to call in sick at work the next day. An audiobook does not have that same problem, for it is contained as an audio file and transferred directly from the earphone into your head. I recently read a book by hand called The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, aged 13 and 3/4, written by Sue Townsend. It is a very funny book detailing a pubescent boy in England's pursuit of his true love Pandora and just trying to navigate his gawky way through the world. He was a forebear for characters such as Alan Partridge and David Brent. I have no idea whether or not it's available on Audible, but if it is, which Tim is researching for you right now, I would highly recommend listening to it as it is most entertaining.
Boy, I really hope it's on here now, huh? Let's have a look.
You and me both, Tim.
Have you read any other good books recently? I don't want to keep throwing things at you. That's pretty good that you read
I
one
read
book.
Marching Powder by Rusty Young, the story of a drug smuggler who wound up in San Pedro, a famous Bolivian prison, and started giving...
Excuse me.
Bless you, Tim. That was a powerful sneeze.
Hey, heads up, everyone. The aforementioned Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, aged 13 and 3/4, is available, narrated by Stephen Mangan. Who's that? Don't know, couldn't tell you. But the book is up there. And if you go to audible.com/trynow right now, you'll be able to get a trial membership for 30 days and one free book so you can test out how this magic works. Go do it right now. Thanks to our sponsor again, audible.com. That is audible.com/trynow. This movie's still fun.
And we're back.
Baby! I don't know. What other business have we got to attend to on this godforsaken...
We've got to attend to the business of
You want to dig deeper into the Illuminati,
having a hose down, because there's a film of sweat establishing itself beneath this t-shirt right now.
Right.
It's getting
Take it off.
hot in
Take
here.
it off.
I can't, because we are fastened to
Yeah,
one
I know.
another by this dastardly handcuff.
It's quite an interesting decision. I tried to get out of it before, and you were very adamant that that was not going to happen, which I respect. You know, if someone's made a decision about something, you got to respect it. But I just don't know where it's coming from. Is this like an abandonment issue thing because we've been apart for so long?
No, I just think I was frustrated early when watching the movie by the idea I was fastened or handcuffed to it. And I said something along the lines of, I am handcuffed to that movie. And you said, and I to you. And I thought, we are kind of handcuffed to each other. What if we became more handcuffed to each other? And so I removed my bike lock and fastened it atop our respective wrists. And do I regret it? A little bit. I don't think it's provided, you know...
This thing's been on us for about 2 hours now.
Yeah,
this
I don't
bike
think it's
lock.
provided either of us with more.
No, it hasn't added anything to anything. But that's all right. It's here. It exists. So make of that what you will. The thing is, though, also, you got to try things sometimes, guys. So I'm going to walk back the negativity that I showed this move, because sometimes you got to throw a lot of seeds out there. People always respect a win, but you got to respect a try as well. And I don't mean that in the rugby sense. I mean an attempt.
For if you did mean it in a rugby sense, a try would be something that would happen on the way to a win.
That's right. And it would
The
kind
team
of be a win
with
in
the
itself.
most tries is likely to win, although will not necessarily win if the other team kicked more penalty or drop goals. As with all sports.
What a clear metaphor we've painted for everyone.
Save for golf.
What about it?
The team with the more points wins. But in golf, the player with the least points
you got it.
wins.
You got it.
Unless
you got it.
you're
back.
match fixing, in which case, if you get more points, you'll lose the game, but you'll win money. And by win, I mean cheat for money.
It's still a sort of a win, isn't it?
Not if you wind up in prison, Tim, because that is a loss.
Unless you take your time in prison and better yourself in there. Get yourself a law degree, make some new friends.
And then come
Get
out
out.
of prison richer for the experience with a newfound lease on life and pursue your one true passion, which was...
Tattooing the name Vanessa to your penis. Right? Because sometimes you've got to have a little break from your life to discover what's important to you. And you don't always know that tattooing the name Vanessa on your junk is your life's ambition. Until you just take a step back, get a little clarity, you know, take some yoga lessons, and it'll just hit you like a ton of bricks. A lot of people, they get away from their lives. They take a little vacation from their high-powered job as a corporate lawyer or some sort of stressful accounting job, where they're in charge of auditing big companies and lots of people relying on them. Maybe they're in upper senior management roles, right? And you take a break for a while, you take a little sabbatical. Maybe you'll quit, because you can feel the pressure. Your heart pressure's bad. Your body's going unhealthy. You're stressed out. And it's in those moments that you, like the clouds parting from the sky, get a moment of unbridled clarity on what's important to you. And often that is friends and family and getting the name Vanessa tattooed to your erect penis.
Often. That happens often. A lot of people are afraid of chasing their dreams because they think once they realize them or get close to them, it won't change the way they feel and they'll be let down. To those people, I say, fair enough. There's a totally valid fear and concern. Stay as you are.
It's like the dog chasing the mailman, isn't it? Once they get the mailman, they don't know what they're going to do with him. They are in it for the hustle. They love the hustle. The hustle is what they're there to do.
Except for the smart dogs who know to open the mail.
Well, that's true. Then they can filter out.
And
Do they ever
go
put
through
doggy
people's
treats in the
business.
mail?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Oh, that's good of you.
Yeah.
That's quite funny.
I send a lot of letters to a lot of high-profile politicians.
Yeah.
And they've all got doggy treats in them.
That's so funny.
And sometimes the politician doesn't have a dog and they open it up and they think either A, I'm writing to them as some sort of satirical statement and giving them a doggy treat because I think of them as a dog.
Yeah,
or
it's very
B,
patronising.
Think, wow, that's so kind of one of my constituents to send me a treat, and they'll eat the treat. Or C, someone is trying to take my life.
Yeah. So it's like the horse head in the bed kind of a thing, but way lower level.
Well, if I want to send that message, usually what I'll do is I'll get a horse head and I'll put it in their bed.
Right.
I find that's the most efficient means of getting that across.
So then what do you think is the worst case messaging of you sending doggy treats to politicians? What's the worst reading of that?
Probably someone who thinks that it's a treat for their pet cat, if they have quite a high-profile pet cat.
What kind of idiot politician has ascended to the ranks of representative of the people and sees a doggy treat and thinks this is definitely a treat for my cat?
That's why it's the worst possible outcome.
Right.
Because it's a damning indictment on their intelligence.
And the political system at large.
Yeah, and I mean, they represent us.
Yeah.
And for them to be that stupid would be, phenomenally disappointing.
Well, what's the clock saying it, Guy? I think I need to leave the room.
I got bad news for you, comrade.
Yeah? Not yet?
In Russia, light shines on you.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is going to be a hard one, too. This is going to be tricky.
Yeah, she's a hard road to find the perfect moment.
Do you know what it is? It's actually right there. It's present for me, but we've talked about it quite a lot previously, so I'm thinking I might need to find another bit. But while I do...
Don't hold back. You don't have to. You gotta say what you want to say.
Where's my 500, bro? The delivery for that line, man. Where's my 500, bro?
That character, there's a lot more to be said about him.
The man who works in the club who does not understand there is a world outside the club.
You might remember him. He was in an episode of Entourage as Turtle's annoying second cousin who tried to freeload with Vinny and the gang one night. That same character has been maintained. The actual actor who's been playing him has been maintaining character since that Entourage episode wrapped. And I mean, he's certainly, there's a lot to be said about him, isn't there? I think he's actually...
No, I'm done.
He's got a Nickelodeon spin-off. It's sort of a situation comedy where he's trying to raise two young kids as a single dad in his nightclub. And his kids know outside exists, but he doesn't.
Weird. Do they feed information back to him, or have they got to protect him from this reality that there's a
They
world
have to
outside
protect
the
him
club?
from the reality.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark for Nickelodeon.
Very
It's
dark.
an interesting direction they've taken.
I also, this watch, really liked all the swimming pools in this movie.
I remember 3.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them.
They shone bright and they shone true.
They did. Great work, pools.
Good stuff, Tim.
Yeah.
My shining light this week would have to be something I'm about to make up off the top of my head. Oh, little noise there. Oh man, it is so hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Squirrel and Zacole down on the beach. Just because I'm literally beating on my forehead now and it looks so refreshing.
That ocean air, that promise of cool
ocean
sea water.
mist. I recently was hanging out with my younger sister, and we came out of a public restroom, and they had toilet spray in there, and it was by Glade, and the smell was suddenly spring. And Annie, my little sister, was just in absolute hysterics at the idea that it's like suddenly it's like,
Oh my God.
you are not a pair of the power you wield. It is a season-changing spray. And that was a season-changing turd that we just sat down and feasted our eyes upon. Summer is here, Tim. Long may it continue.
Indeed, and 2017 is here also, and I've never felt worse about that prospect. So, thanks for being on board. Here's to you, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This movie's still fine.
Zacole pasta.
One of them dies, that goes screw. One of them's a hottie, his name is Jay. One of them looks like Johnny Depp, and his name is Johnny Depp.
Classic Maximum Joseph.
You forget that films are supposed to have a point.
Thanks for listening to this podcast. If you're thirsty for another, why not try The Male Gaze?
I'd follow them at any point.
No,
the
there's
choice
so
is
many.
always open
You have
to you.
no idea how loyal I am to the people I follow. I've been following Deborah Messing on Snapchat for way too long now. And so she's like a big supporter of the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
And she's been campaigning for them for a very long time. But there's something about her tone which just like really irks me a little bit. God, I hope she's not listening. I love Deborah Messing. I'm a huge fan of Will and Grace.
They're both male.